Let's examine this imported mesh file. And the issue that's reported is this line that is right here. So we'll look where that came from and how to get rid of that. But also I noticed that in these corners, the conversion from a mesh to a solid doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. So we'll fix that as well. So I'm going to drag the timeline back and I'll go to where the mesh groups were created, the face groups, and I'll go to the mesh tools and I'm going to tell it to combine face groups, and I'll select this one and this one to combine it. Now you can select multiple faces. I usually only do two at a time, but let's go ahead and go and look. So I fixed that corner, and so now let's go and fix this corner. So again, I'll go back and I'll do mesh groups, and I'm going to get this one, and I'll go ahead and try to do all these at once. But again, I usually do two at a time, and I've got one more down here, got some down here. Okay, so we'll say okay to that, and let's see if that fixed everything. So I'll drag my timeline back, and we see that that corner is fixed. Let's look for any other corners that have issues. And so this one looks good. This one has some issues, so we'll fix it. So I'll drag my timeline back. I don't have to go back and forth on this. I can just go to edit feature on this, and I'll do the mesh groups on this one. And actually, maybe it'll be easy for me if I do drag that back. And this one, 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 and I've got a couple more here, 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 and here. I'll say okay to that. And let's make sure then that that solves correctly and that corner is fixed. I've got an issue here on this corner, so let's drag my timeline back, and I'm going to fix this one. Say okay to that. Check it. So always go back and forth on your timeline to check your geometry before you get too far down the road and cause a lot of other issues. So let's check this one, and I'll do the mesh groups on that one. Yeah, I think we got one more here. I had to be careful I don't get one of these planar faces. I'm not sure I got all of them. We'll check it and make sure that we don't cause a corruption somewhere else. I accidentally dragged that convert mesh after that. There, we got it in the right position. Okay, so that one's fixed. I think we've got one more to do somewhere. Okay, so here's one. And we'll drag the timeline back. And so I think you get the idea now of editing these mesh groups to combine any that you somehow missed. Okay, I think I got them all in that one. And I'll check it. I see I missed one over here. So I'll edit that feature and I'll get one more. I'll say okay to that. Okay, so I think I've got, well, I see one over here. I'm not sure that if I missed that one. I'll combine this one and this one. Okay, now I think I've got everything. All right, so I look around the model, make sure that everything looks good, and then I'm going to go to the next step. So I'll drag the timeline to the next step. And I have this sketch. Let's make that sketch visible. Actually, it is visible. Let's turn off the solid body, but I don't see a sketch here, so I don't know where a problem was introduced here. I assume that originally there was a projected edge that's lost, but that causes an issue then on our next step, because the next step was to do an extrusion, and when we see that extrusion, we see this uh, line show up here. There's actually an extra surface back in there, and we'll just continue on with the edits, but I want to get rid of that. And so we could look at that in wireframe and maybe see that. So I'm going to go to Visual Style Wireframe, and so there's actually an extra surface hidden back in here inside the model. And I think it'll be easiest to select though. We could select it here, but let's go back to shaded with our edges. And I'm going to go to the solid tools and I'm going to select delete. Now the problem is it's down inside there and we've got to get to it. Now actually I can get to it right here, but I'm going to demonstrate. I want to make sure I get everything. So I'm going to hold my mouse button down. I'm holding the left mouse button down, and then I get a choice of things that I can select. A face. This would be the outer face. I don't want to delete that. I do want to delete this one. I'm not sure why it's showing it twice. And then this is the left side face. I want to delete this face. So I'll select that one and I'll say OK. And now it's gone. I'll turn off the visibility of that sketch. And I might double check to make sure that there aren't two of those in there. So that's the front face. That's the left side face. So everything is repaired now.